Hi, everyone. This is Cheryl Abram, and again, this is my Ypifany YouTube channel where I talk about learning and evaluation. If you're at all interested in that, I suggest you subscribe because I talk about a lot of interesting things, probably things you've never heard before, but just bear with me as we go further on this. So today, I want to talk about decolonizing evaluation. And I have written here 3 ideas to help decolonize evaluation. Now, what do I mean by that? Decolonizing evaluation. So, as many of you know, colonization is the action or process of appropriating a place or domain for one's own use. Okay, that's what colonization is. Much of what we do in learning and evaluation is the result of colonization. Okay, I'm not saying that as a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a thing. Okay, it's the result of colonization. So, in my webinar, in my articles, what I attempt to do is to help decolonize evaluation just so that we can learn something new and more about what it is and could be. Okay, that's all I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is again give you three things to help us unlearn what we already know for sure about evaluation. Now, when I say unlearn, it's very simple. I'm not saying you forget about it, you devalue it, or anything like that. So when I was little, I used to think that when I was in a car, the moon was following me. Okay, because that's what it looked like. It looked like the moon was following me. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. When I'm in a car, the moon follows me. Well, when I got in school, I learned that, Cheryl, the moon actually is not following you. It's a result of, the distance, the way your brain works, and, all these other things that come into play that make it seem as if that's what's going on, right? So I was able to unlearn what I knew to be true because I was not holding on to the idea that the moon follows me as an absolute truth, something I have to have in place in order to live a good life. And, the moon has to follow me. That cannot change. All right. So it's the same thing that I'm doing here with decolonizing or unlearning evaluation, is that having an open mind about, well, what else could be going on here? What else could evaluation be? And just because you have an open mind does not mean you have to change it. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. This is not an attack on what you feel is the absolute right thing. Okay, if you think the moon follows you, go on with that. Is that a useful belief for you to have? Is it helping you to get where you want to get in? Then please, by all means, believe that, right? But what I'm saying is there are other ideas and other ways of doing things and other types of knowledge that may be more useful, to where you are and what you're doing in learning and evaluation. So first, I want to start with a definition of evaluation. I see it as identifying, acquiring, categorizing, and contextualizing decision enabling feedback and information. Okay. Now, I already told you in another video what my definition of learning is, and I define learning as sharing of perspective and experience. Okay. So when you learn, you share perspective and experience, and when you evaluate, you're then able to identify, acquire that information, contextualize it, and use it to make decisions or take some kind of an action that you want to take. Okay, so those are the 2 definitions, and I'm going to put this in the narrative beneath the video, so you have this stuff. Okay, so the first idea to help decolonize evaluation is that knowledge is not power. We hear that a lot, but knowledge is not power. Accountability is power. Now, take for instance a hacker. right? Somebody who is trying to get into your system. Now, a hacker, they do want knowledge. They want your social, they want your name, they want your birthday, whatever that is. But the primary thing a hacker wants, and this is like a black hat hacker, someone who's really trying to do some damage. What they really want is to own your system. That is their goal, to own your system without you even knowing it, right? So when I own your system, now I have the accountability and the control. Okay. And if I have control and accountability, that means I can go in and actually change some really substantive, significant things. Okay. So it's accountability that's power, not the knowledge that's power. Okay. The next idea, evaluation comes before judgment. All right. We try to use evaluation and judgment as the same thing. They're not synonymous. Okay. Evaluation is not judgment. It's the process that you do, the acquiring, the categorizing, the contextualizing. It's all of that you do with the information you have before you make a judgment. Some of us, we skip completely over evaluation and we go right on to judgment. Okay. So Michael Scriven, who's a really big person in the evaluation world, he commented that after observation, evaluation is the function that we develop as human beings, right? So you're observing something, you evaluate. You evaluate to see, okay, is what I'm seeing, like, what is this? Does it have merit? Does it have significance? How am I going to weigh this? And then I go ahead and I make a judgment. Yes, it's good, or it's bad, or it's dirty, or whatever the judgment is that I'm making about a particular thing. Okay. So evaluation comes before judgment. Evaluation is not judgment. So the last one, it does not take a human mind to learn or evaluate. Now, when I was doing the research for my model, I went a lot into looking at plants. There's this PBS show. It's called The Secret Life of Plants. It's very good. It's on YouTube. Please watch it if you haven't. But as part of that show, they have a daughter vine. And the daughter vine is like a parasite, right? But it's going around. You can see they time lapse it. And it's looking to decide between a tomato plant and another kind of plant. 9 times out of 10, it chooses, I'm talking about a plant here, it chooses the tomato plant. Why? Because the tomato plant is the plant that's going to help it to survive and thrive, right? Some kind of way, however plants do that, it's taking in information and evaluating which one of these plants, will I select. And there's other research too into plants and non-human intelligence, that shows these things are actually learning. They're learning and they're growing and they're sharing and they're doing all these various things. So it doesn't take a human mind to learn and evaluate, right? Which opens up evaluation much, much more than it is right now. It takes a lot of constraints off of both learning and evaluation that human minds have put onto it. All right, so those are the 3 things that I want to talk about today, just to help to, this is just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. I mean, there's a lot more, trust me. But if you have any ideas about what I said or other comments, or you think it sounds crazy, I mean, I want to know. So let me know, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.